congrats on the show. You play Davy, a 15-year-old living in Sherman Oaks, who's trying to navigate her way through high school, as many are. Comes from Mindy Kaling and Lang Fisher. You had a really interesting story to get this show. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, the audition process was definitely unique and definitely a whole journey in itself. It could be its own movie. But yeah, Mindy put out that original tweet, and it was my best friend who sent it to me. Probably wouldn't have seen the tweet if it wasn't for my best friend. And it went on from there.
You have your friend's eagle eye on the socials to thank for this.
Yes, exactly.
And then you filmed some videos to send out, is that right?
Yeah, so the email that they provided, like with the tweet, I just emailed them a super generic email like, hello, hi, you guys tweeted something and I was wondering like what I should do to audition. And they sent back like an auto-generated email with the script and everything. So I, took my take on the scripts that they sent in 2 different self-tapes. And then from then on, they asked for 4 more. So 6 self-tapes in total. And then after that, it was a trip to LA, my first time ever going to LA for a screen test. And then 1 more trip to LA for a chemistry check. All happened in the span of a month.
Wow. What did your parents think of you sending videos to someone in LA?
So I didn't tell my parents exactly that I was following through with the whole like audition, like the original videos. I told them I was doing it, but not that I actually did do it. So when I got the ask to come to LA to see them in person and do a screen test, I had to tell my parents, hey, so I just sent this random guy in LA videos of me acting, and now they want to take me to LA. So can I do that? Can I go? And they're like, what? So after convincing and proving to them that this is a very real, legit thing, and I'm not being scammed, they were all on board, and they're super supportive. I can't thank them enough for all the support that they give me.
I imagine Mindy Kaling's name had some help in persuading them, did it?
Yes, definitely did. I was like showing my mom and my dad like Mindy's like tweet from her own account and how like this is a real thing. Like look at the articles about it. Like this is real. So yeah.
I gather you were quite a big fan of Mindy's, or maybe Kelly Kapoor's more so. What was that experience in the first place? I imagine you know some of Kelly's lines better than Mindy does these days.
Yeah, I obviously am a really big fan of The Office. I love The Office so much. When I found out that like Mindy wrote some of the greatest episodes on The Office, that's where I really gained my huge respect for her and just really admired her for all the creative talent that she is. So when I saw her face to face, it's also the first time I'm ever really seeing a celebrity. So when I saw her face to face, my like body sort of like, whoa, like had my soul leave. Like my soul left my body for a good solid 3 seconds before I was like, hey, get it together. Don't be weird. She's a normal person. Don't be weird around her, okay? That's not nice.
And then let's talk about your character. She seems like she knows what she wants. It's just a little bit of difficulty getting there. Is that fair?
Yeah.
What was that process like? I imagine you're playing a role, so she's not necessarily like you, but I imagine there's some similarities. And did you use some of that just to figure out what a high school student would think about the situation?
Yeah, for sure. There's definitely a huge similarity between me and Davey, like both being competitive, always wanting to try to do the best that you possibly can, like be the best at whatever you do. And I was always on top of my homework and my grades, so definitely could relate to Davey like that. But with Davey's whole agenda of wanting to seize her sophomore year, her whole carpe diem, I never really was like that in high school. I never had like a agenda of like, I'm gonna get this done, and it's gonna be great. So that I definitely like had to get into her headspace of a girl who really wants to find her happiness.
This show's been praised for breaking stereotypes for South Asian people particularly. I guess on one hand, that's brilliant that this is a role that exists and you're not playing the quirky sidekick. But on the other, it's a little bit depressing that we're talking about that in 2020 and this isn't the norm. Which way do you feel about it?
I think it's great that we have, the story of Never Have I Ever. But like you said, it's depressing that this is happening now in 2020. And even still, like, we can, applaud breaking stereotypes, but we can't keep applauding and forgetting about the fact that we still have so much more work to do. Davie's only one story. She doesn't represent the entirety of the South Asian community. You can't possibly do that. You would have a piece of fluff. The show would be fluff in that way, and the character would have to try and be everything at the same time, but also not everything at the same time. So hopefully, as much as this show inspires other people, other minorities, around the world who are watching the show, that they can also pursue their dreams and that, they are valid and they should be seen. Hopefully this also inspires, directors, producers, creators, writers to start bringing that natural inclusion into their shows.
A character that I've seen you talk about is Hermione from Harry Potter. Is that maybe there's a future prequel or sequel that could have your name on?
Harry Potter, like, if I could be a part of the Harry Potter universe, that would be amazing. I really looked up to Hermione Granger as a kid because that's who I saw my personality in. And yeah, Emma Watson, I love her as an actress. I think she's amazing. I love what she stands for. But that would be wild if I could, be a Gryffindor on the screen.
Well, who knows? And is directing and producing something that you've thought about? Obviously early in your career, but is that an ambition?
Yeah, for sure. My plan before all of this Hollywood stuff was to go to university for theater and pursue acting. But now, because I have like a good grip on that and I can carry on with what I've got, I want to go back to university to do directing and producing, so I can expand my brain about how the whole industry works and eventually fall into that.
Oh, great. Well, Maitreyi, thank you very much for joining us today, and good luck with the show and all of the stuff that you've talked about. It was fantastic to have you on this, and thank you.
Thank you. Goes both ways.